Hi, friends. Today I want to talk about the importance of community. This has been on my mind recently, in part because I just got back from Origins Game Fair, which is a convention that's based around people who build games. And I was surprised to see just how tight knit that community is. It's not a very large community in the grand scheme of things. Like, there aren't that many people making games, but it was a lot bigger than I thought it would be. There were a lot of games that were there. And that got me thinking about what I do for my full-time job, right? Writing. And about the community that is often built around writing. Just like designing a game, writing is a mostly solo thing. Like, you do most of the work by yourself. And even if you are collaborating with other people, you do the actual work alone. But unlike games, writing is not inherently a multi-person thing on the back end. What I mean by that is when you sit down to play a game, you're usually playing with other people. When you sit down to read a book, you're usually reading it by yourself. And I think that just sort of the nature of writing, because it is a much more introspective thing, because it is much more aimed at a single individual, it has the tendency to be really insular, almost isolating even. But it's really important as a writer to make sure that you have community, to make sure that you have people around you who can encourage you to keep going, because it's a really hard thing. It seems to come in waves as well. And right now I've just been noticing that for a lot of people, life seems to be stretched. It seems to be a little bit thin. It's as if all of these things are happening simultaneously. There's like a wave of frustration and difficulty rolling over everybody. And I don't mean that in some sort of weird way. Maybe it's just that because of the frame of mind that I'm in, because I am going through this period of sort of frustration with my writing, I'm noticing it more in other people. But I really do think that there's something in the air. And it's periods like this when we really need each other, when we really need to come together as a community to support one another, to encourage one another, to help keep each other from spiraling, because it's really easy to do. And no matter how far along you are in your career, I mean, I've been writing for 6 years now, and I've been full-time for 3, but no matter how far along you get, you still are going to have these same issues. You're still going to wake up one morning and say, man, I'm not a very good writer, am I? Or, man, I wish I could write books that people enjoyed. And it might sound silly coming from someone who has written a bunch of books that people enjoyed, but often that's how I feel. I'd like to sit here and say that, once you get to a certain point, once you release 10 books or 15 books, all of a sudden those feelings are going to go away. No, they still exist. Now, they're not quite as strong and they're not nearly as debilitating as they used to be. It used to be that if I went through one of these periods of sort of negative introspection, that I'd be knocked out for like weeks. I wouldn't be able to write a thing. And I'm not in that place anymore. And the reason I'm not in that place is because I have systems that allow me to continue working no matter how I feel about it. But that doesn't change the fact that I still struggle with those same feelings. So if you're watching this and you're feeling kind of down, maybe it's about your writing, maybe it's about your life circumstances, know that there are other people out there, myself included, who are feeling the same way. Life isn't all sunshine and roses. It's not all feeling great, feeling on top of the world. No, often it's feeling like there's a storm cloud just on the horizon. Or maybe it's not even on the horizon. Maybe it hit, and maybe it's just pouring buckets. But what I will say is that behind every cloud is the sun. It's still there, and it's looking for a way to break through. As soon as there's a gap in that cloud, it will. One of the most important things that I've learned on my journey as a writer is that even when things are really rough, even when things don't seem to be working out, even when the world seems to be collapsing around you, the way you handle yourself in those moments, what you choose to do in those moments, has more of an impact on your life than anything else. If you can choose to stand with courage in the face of difficulty, then when that difficulty starts to pass, you will be able to move forward faster than ever. If life is frustrating right now, that's okay. It sucks, but it is okay. It's okay to not feel great. It's okay to be bummed out. It's okay to feel like you're not doing well. Just know that tomorrow will come, and you can get up, and you can do it. And what you have to say is important. I don't know how this turned into a motivational video, but maybe it's because I need a bit of motivation myself. Writing is hard, and it will always be hard, but it's also wonderful. It also brings life and enjoyment. It's a wonderful way to connect with other people. It's a wonderful way to express yourself. And at the end of the day, it's really important that you continue to do it. And most importantly, make sure you're doing it with other people. Make sure you're encouraging the people around you. Make sure you're plugging into the communities that you're part of so that you can be encouraged as well. And above all, keep writing.